What's up YouTube? This is your host Underlordtico here, bringing you a quick mag tutorial for beginner players. This is pretty much, I'm just gonna say a few tips here and a few guides. It's gonna help beginning players, to get the hang of the game a lot quicker, especially since the game doesn't really explain a lot on organization skills and what things you should go for first, what things you should focus on, because a lot of new players are always lost in this game. So I just want to make this quick video doing that. Whenever you start the game, you're gonna be level 1, and as compared to games like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, or Black Ops, this mag has a very steep learning curve. So you're gonna get killed a lot unless you're very familiar. I don't think there's any other type of game like mag right now, but you're gonna get killed a lot. So don't expect to be doing any good. It's gonna take you a while before you start killing a lot of people. So don't get discouraged if you start losing a lot. The best advice I can give you is try to stick with your teammates. Try not to run off by yourself or whatever. Try not to go Call of Duty style, because you're gonna get killed very, very easily, especially since probably you've run into a lot of people with higher level than you, got a lot better gear and stuff. So it's not a good idea whenever you're playing by yourself and you're a new guy to run off by yourself. Always try to stay in a group of at least 3 or 4 guys together, at least with another person that can pick you up. Let me explain some things here. We got a supply depot. The supply depot is pretty much where you buy your weapons. This is a new update ever since Mag 2.0. Pretty much, you gotta be a certain level to unlock certain weapons and certain accessories, certain upgrades for your weapons, new things you can put on them, attachments and stuff. For example, here we got the Vipera. That's the SMGs. All SMGs in this game, you unlock them at level 5. So if you want a pretty good weapon to use off the start, you can buy an SMG. Whenever you buy a weapon, you buy it, for example, the Vipera. Any SMG in this game costs 1,000 points. So, but if you try to sell it back, you only get half of what you gave for it. So it's always good to make sure you want to buy what you're gonna get. And it's always good to buy SMGs. SMGs are really good in this game. They're pretty balanced, and they only need like two attachments, I believe. They can have a silencer or suppressor on it, and they can have a red dot sight on it, which is pretty good. So pretty much, not only do you gotta be a certain level to get the new weapons, new attachments, and new upgrades, you also gotta have the money for it. And pretty much, I believe the way the money system works in this game is, whatever experience you get at the end of the game, multiply that times 1.5, and that's the amount of money you get for the game. You get in that game. And as you can see the balance at the top right corner, and whatever the balance is, that's what deducts from whatever things you buy. So the higher the level, the more things you're going to be able to buy. You're going to buy suppressors, buy your 4x optical scope, your foregrip, red dot sight, bipod. You got a grenade launcher. You got to be level 42 for that. That's for assault rifles. Then you got this electronics like sensor jammers. Sensor jammers pretty much where nobody can detect you when you run. The motion sensor, you can detect other people that don't got sensor jammers to detect them when they run. They'll automatically appear on the radar, etc, etc, etc. You can buy new armors. You can buy clothes to put on your character, etc. One easy way to get a lot of points is to go for ribbons. There's a lot of ribbons in this game. Ribbons like getting, I don't know, blowing up a AAA in one domination game or one acquisition game. You get like, every time you get a ribbon, you get extra money for you get extra money for that ribbon at the end of the game. So that's always good. Try to go for ribbons every game if you want to get money quick. Let me go over the game modes real quick. Let me go to the training thing. Mag right now has 6 gaming modes. It's got suppression. Suppression is pretty much just a team deathmatch. Team deathmatch is pretty much both teams start out with a bar. Your bar is gonna be the blue one. The other team's gonna be the red one. The more you kill people, the more of the people you kill, the faster their health bar goes down. Their meter goes down. So pretty much the point of the game is just kill more people, kill more of them, then they kill more of you. That's the whole point. Sabotage, you fight over 2 objectives. You're either defending the 2 objectives or attacking them. And pretty much what happens is, if you're defending and the enemy takes both objectives at the same time and keeps them, then you automatically move back to a third objective, which is C, and then you gotta defend that, and that's like a 20-minute game. Acquisition, you gotta take two vehicles from the enemy and take it back to your side, or if you're defending, you gotta defend the 2 vehicles. And pretty much, one important thing is the AAA is the most important thing whenever you're doing this. The AAA is what prevents the attacking team from actually calling in mortar strikes and calling in like air support and having their people parachute down. So as long as the AAA is up, the enemy can't do anything like that, and they'll have to walk their way through your map. So AAA is the most important thing. Bunkers, you can always just re-enter your bunker to resupply your weapons and such, and the bunkers are your main line of defense. Whenever you're defending, it's always more important. It's always very important to keep your bunkers up, because your bunker is the main line of defense, and once that's taken down, then you fall back. Now, escalation is a DLC, downloadable content. And pretty much that's like sabotage, but it's three objectives at the same time, and all 3 teams with 32 players are at the same time there. Anytime one of the teams gets 2 of the 3 objectives and takes them for their own, the D objectives opens up, and then they gotta defend that. And the longer they hold that, the more damage, the more points they get, and the faster their bar fills up. And whenever any other team takes that one, the other 3 open back up and D locks back up, etc. And then you gotta repeat the process. Interdiction. Interdiction is another DLC. You can actually get both escalation and interdiction for $15, and that's a pretty good deal. You get both of them. Each one of them is neutral, so it's 3 maps in here, 3 maps of escalation, 3 maps of interdiction, and I believe you get new guns with it. You get 3 new guns for each faction, which is really good. But pretty much interdiction, it's three objectives, and you gotta, whichever team holds the objectives the longest wins. It's 1 team versus another team. So if one team is holding A and B and the other one's only holding C, then the one that's holding A and B is going to do more damage faster. So pretty much they're going to win because they're filling up faster, because they're holding 2 objectives at a time. So whichever one holds the objectives for longer is the one that wins. Domination. Domination is a hard game mode. Domination, pretty much you start out, and if you're attacking, you gotta take the 2 enemy burn-off towers. You gotta take the burn-off towers. Domination is 128 players, 128 players. There's platoons divided on all 4 sides of the map. And pretty much what your platoons, what your squad, there's 2 squads, and there's 4 platoons divided into 4 different sectors of the map. And then there's 2 squads on each side of each sector. And on each side of each sector, there's a burn-off tower. As soon as you take the 2 burn-off towers, you move on to taking the 2 cooling towers. After you take those 2, the 2 letters for your side open up. And the longer you hold those letters, the more damage you do to the enemy facility, etc. It's always important to go after the bunkers first, because if you take out the enemy bunkers, you won't be able to have a main line of defense to prevent you from taking the burn-off towers or the cooling towers. So it's always important to go for the bunkers first. Try not to ever go for the bunkers in the middle. Try to go for the bunkers inside. Because of course, if you go to the bunkers in the middle, the ones from the side are going to flank you, and that's not a good idea. So always go from the ends, never go from the middle. That's a very good tip that a lot of people should follow. Not a lot of randoms don't follow. Very important thing I gotta go over, the skill points. Pretty much every time you get a level, you get a skill point, and you can spend those skill points right here in the skill tree. Now the skill tree, pretty much what it is where you get upgrades for. It's like passive skills. For example, if you got like an assault rifle, you can use 1 point here and get a reload to make your reload speed faster whenever you're using an assault rifle or machine gun. Every level access one skill point, and your experience, it's a respec points. So pretty much what respec points is, you get back all your skill points, and you get to point them. Everything becomes blank, and you get to reassort them and put them back in again, whichever way you wanted to. So pretty much, the first thing any new person should get is the medical kit. You always go for the medical kit. You go to the supply depot and go all the way to the bottom, and I believe in the supply depot the medical kit is down here, I believe. Medical kit only costs 500 points, so it shouldn't be too hard to get. Always get that first, because in the medical kit you're gonna get points faster. Every kill that you do in this game gets you 5 points. Every assist kill gets you 3 points. Every time you revive somebody with a medical kit, but before you do that, you gotta buy the medical kit, then you gotta come down here to medical, and you gotta get improved healing, self-heal speed, and then you gotta get resuscitation. So that pretty much you gotta be level 3 because it costs 3 points. You get resuscitation and then you can revive teammates. And pretty much what that does, you revive the teammate and you're gonna get 5 experience for it. And you revive them with half health, I believe. Now, if you get resuscitation 2 and resuscitation 3, as soon as you get resuscitation 3, you're gonna revive the teammate at full health, and you're gonna get 10 points for it. So that's a very, if any new players, they wanna do that. They wanna come down here and get that as soon as possible. So always do that. Whenever the first 5 levels, spend the 5 skill points here, and these 5 right here. That way you start leveling up faster, because as soon as you got that, and as soon as you got the medical kit, you're gonna keep going around healing people and picking them up and getting 10 points apiece. Then after that, it's always pretty important to go here and keep getting these things. Actually, no, these things are not important. These 5 things right here are the main important things. You should always get these 5 in the first 5 levels you got. These are the first 5 skill points here. Then resistances is what comes next. Resistances, whenever somebody kills you, you wait right there until you bleed out. Pretty much is where you're waiting until your character finishes bleeding out, and then you pass out, and then you go back to the respawn point. Pretty much, this thing lets you stay alive for longer when you're bleeding out. Down here we got the damage resistance, explosive damage resistance. You always want to get that because it helps you from getting blown up by grenades and mortar strikes, which call explosions and stuff. So pretty much we use 5 points in the medical tree, and then we want to come here and start getting these things. These things are all very important, at least for me, in my opinion. This, after you get the 5 points for the medical tree that I pointed out, you want to come here and get these ones I got picked out right here. Because you got the explosive resistance, you got extended bleed out time, and then you got an extra health for your character. Every character has 100 health. As soon as you get these 3, your character health is going to go up to 120. And with the extra explosive resistance, you're going to last a lot longer in battle. After that, I would say everything else is secondary. After that, you pretty much want to start getting your weapon. So pretty much first you go medical, then go to resistance and get your health up and your explosive resistance up, and then you pick whatever tree you want for close quarters, just for the SMGs and pistols and stuff, assault rifle, and you can get that. You can get marksman, which is for snipers. I want to talk a little bit about snipers. Snipers are not a very liked set of players in this game, just because this game is an objective game, and most of the time you're pushing to get the objective. Sniping is only good. Please only snipe whenever you're defending. Whenever you're attacking, do not snipe. One thing I want to show you is this is the very first sniper rifle you get. All 3 PMCs get one. You can either just Raven, Valor, or 7. You gotta stick with that one to reach level 70, and you can veteran and switch out to another one. The very first sniper rifle is like an urban sniper rifle. Pretty much it acts as a semi-automatic battle rifle. And pretty much it's good for urban snipers. So it's good for close quarters, and you can actually go around and actually gun people at a close distance and actually do pretty good with it. The main points I don't recommend sniping whenever you're attacking is because you're going for the objective, trying to take the objective. If you're sitting back sniping, you're not doing that job, and you're not helping out your team. And you're not you might be getting a high KDR, but you're not going to help the team win, and that's what matters in the end. So whenever you do the urban sniping, where you're actually using this first sniper rifle, it's pretty good because it got a good fire rate, it's got decent damage, and it's still got a lot of accuracy, and you can still snipe from with a pretty decent distance. So it's pretty good. So I would recommend this if you want to use a sniper rifle. Use this. And if you're defending, that's when you can use the large sniper rifle, which I believe this large sniper rifle costs a lot more points. I'm able to see here real quick. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? I believe this is it. Slight reduced rate of fire and costs more, and it's one of the. There we go. Here it is. I believe this is the one, and pretty much it does damage to turrets, it does damage to vehicles, etc. So that's pretty good, but it's only good when defending. So only use this whenever you're defending. And if the enemy, for example, if you're playing sabotage and you're defending in Sabotage, and the enemy takes your objective, you got to go back in there and take it back. So you might want to switch out. You don't want to be sniping when you're trying to take back your objective. Whenever you're attacking, switch to an offensive maneuver. Never defend. Let's see, another thing, something else I want to point out. There is no aim assist in this game, so don't even think that you're going to get away with that. This is not Call of Duty, so it's not easy to kill people. You're going to find yourself spraying a lot before you kill somebody. You got different sets of armor. I believe you got like 6 armors in this game. You got a ballistic mesh. I mean, that's a light armor, light plus, medium, medium plus, then heavy. Then you got a heavy plus, which I don't buy because I never use it. But pretty much, the higher the armor, the lower your movement is gonna be, but the more damage you'll be able to take, and the less damage you take from bullets, pretty much, and from explosions or anything. But you're gonna become a slower moving target. So you gotta keep that in mind. A lot of people like using shotguns with this because shotguns only cost 400 points. Let me go Untitled real quick. Whenever you equip your weapon, for example, let me do here. I got the Thompson. I put a suppressors 2C, red dot sight, another 1, then 2. As you can see in the top, you can see 31 out of 34. 34 is the limit, so pretty much you don't want to go above that. One personal preference I like to do is I like to carry in both my medical kit and my first aid kit. In the medical skill tree, you can always pick a skill with less your medical kit. I believe there's about like a 4-second delay. If you use a medical kit, it takes about 4 to 5 seconds before you can use it again. There's a recharge rate, which pretty much makes it to where you can use it faster. It's only going to be like 2.5 seconds before you can use it again. But for me, I prefer having 2 of them. I use a first aid kit on myself all the time, and then there's a medical kit only on my teammates. That's because I don't like to wait, and I like being a more effective medic. Also, it helps me get a lot of more experience than other people, because I can heal a lot more often because I don't need to keep healing myself. You got rocket launchers. Rocket launchers are pretty much, RPGs. You want to use that on vehicles, you want to use that on turrets, etc. You have frag grenades, you got smoke grenades, poison gas, flashbang, repair kits. Repair kits to repair some of your blown out bunkers. You can actually do some damage with repair kits to the enemy to some of their bunkers, I believe. I don't know. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit confused here. I think I'm just rambling on right now. But anyways, guys, those are the few tips I can give you guys. One big tip: aim for the head. Don't think that if you aim for the leg or whatever, this is not Call of Duty. People here last a lot longer sometimes. This game doesn't have a lot of lag as opposed to what a lot of like new players at the beginning, before mag was really said, like mag equals lag. They're just retarded. They never knew anything. There's like something to say that the PS3 is bad or whatever. But anyways, this game has virtually no lag. Usually whenever there is lag, it's a very small instance of lag. And if there is very bad lag, then most of the time it has something to do with your connection. But always aim for the head. Aiming for the head is the most effective way. But since there's no aim assist, you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna find yourself spraying a lot sometimes. So yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, I just covered a few tips. I'm the kind of player that I didn't even focus on trying to unlock everything in the game. I didn't focus on leadership. Pretty much you get that whenever you're level 15. And then once you get level 15, you can apply to be a squad leader. If you got a microphone, your chances of becoming a squad leader when the game starts increases by like twice as much. So always having the communication is key. Whenever your squad leader say something, they got a strategy. Usually, it's so good to have the communication, because if it's a bad one, you can tell them it's a bad one and tell them not to do it. But if it's a good one, try not to follow. It's always good to communicate. Always good to follow, going as a team. Never try to go in by yourself. Never try to do your own thing, because you by yourself are not gonna win the game. As soon as you become a squad leader, every time you get into a match and you're a leader, you're gonna earn like leadership points. And pretty much as soon as you get a certain amount of points, you're gonna become a platoon leader, which is actually the leader of like a platoon of 32 players. Squad leader is only 8 players. Platoon leaders is 32 players, and then officer in charge is for 128 players from Plan and Domination. I personally only apply for a squad leader because a squad leader they can actually designate objectives, and I like doing that. So I usually never apply for platoon leader. I've only applied once for officer in charge, and I got in one time and we lost the game, so it sucks. Here's your medals. There's a lot of medals in mag. Usually Like I don't focus on a lot of these things because usually I just play with my own play style. I don't try to complete things. It's funny because I've been repairing a lot, but I still don't got all these things here for repairing. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was doing it before the update, and usually before the last one of the last updates, if you wasn't the last person to actually finish repairing something, you wouldn't get the actual point for it. It wouldn't actually count as you repairing it. But now I've been doing it more lately. It's actually counting, so I'm gonna keep doing this lately. And you know, KDR is not a big deal in this game. You got ribbons, like get 25 kills with a machine gun, 25 kills with an assault rifle in one match, etc., etc., etc. You get a lot of trophies. This is my KDR. Kill streak max. My max kill streak is only 19. I believe that's not so bad. Since I never snipe, and I'm usually never a ninja. Usually I stick around my teammates. I try to heal. I've been repairing a lot lately since that update because it actually cancels the repair for me. But I think considering my playstyle that I like to stick with the team and do things that support like heal and repair and like kill while doing that as well, I think that's a pretty good. I don't like using sniper rifles, as you can tell, or shotguns. I suck with a shotgun for some reason. It's not very stable in this game. Knife kills. There's a lot of stats in this game. I got a lot of points. Let me see my leadership points. 2,704. That's a pretty good point. I've been playing for about 256 hours, I believe. Let me see here real quick. The MVPs, whenever you come out in the top 3 persons in the game. I killed 293 friendlies. I don't know how that happened. But I think I've only played for 256 hours, 31 minutes, and 35 seconds. So guys, I mean, I think that's all. I really don't have much else to say. Hopefully, these few tips helped you guys. You know, hopefully you guys know a little bit more about Mag now. I didn't show any gameplay. I just pretty much wanted to talk and show you all little things that are important. Try to stick with your teammates. Try to heal. That's the best way you're going to level up quicker. And then the faster you level up, the better you become. Because the better gear you got, the more people you're going to kill. Try not to go on by yourself, and pretty much that's all I got to say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This was pretty long, but I think I covered a lot of the points that a lot of the new players probably wondering about. And a lot of some tips for new players. So, see you guys later, and hopefully you enjoyed. Sorry for all the rambling. Underlordtico is out.